Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Jesus. I work here at Sojourn as a business development manager for Spain and Portugal. And I would like to thank Parati Tech and the organization of this event for inviting us to participate with this talk. I hope you really enjoy it. It's all about travel and some trends that we're seeing for the rest of the year that by actionating them, it might help you to give more exposure to your hotel in this very changing landscape. So, yeah, let me just give you a little bit more of context of what we do, who we are. At Sojourn, we work with literally thousands of hotels, airlines, attractions, tourism destinations around the world, and we help them engage and convert travelers using everything from the typical online channels to the latest social channels. So we are always looking for new ways where we can help our clients to better engage with their consumers. And so in the time of COVID, this is even more challenging thing to do. Before we kind of jump into what can you do about engaging with travelers in this new crazy world, one thing to remember is that travelers are really resilient. And I think that while it's difficult to travel right now due to all the restrictions and uncertainty, that desire hasn't changed. And it's now our job to figure out how to make it easy for consumers to. We've seen and faced many crises in the past, but COVID is different. It's bigger, more challenging. But what we see is that as people are able to travel, this market share will come back and we'll do it stronger. So it's really our job to be prepared for that recovery as it comes. So, what I wanted to do today is literally walk you through 10 ideas that I have prepared for how can you better understand what travelers want and really take advantage of those needs. So first thing, as we say the word's different, you gotta set those expectations correctly. You know you need to provide them with information simply, like we are open, right? One of the top search terms is hotels opening, name the destination. So people wants to know if your hotel is open. Is your restaurant open? What information can you provide? So make sure you go into all the possible channels that consumers are looking at and make sure that your information is up to date, normally on third party sites, but especially on your website. Because right now, consumers are even more likely to go directly to hotels' websites when they are searching because they need to know that primary information and want to go to right to the source. They may have heard that you're open, but are you really open? Is your restaurant really open? So making sure that you've got that information up to date and you constantly updating it's critically important. So the second thing is, as our researchers have shown, people definitely want to know what the rules are. And you definitely want people to know that your hotel is clean, that you're doing best in class protocols and any certification that you've gotten, anything that can demonstrate your cleanliness. You definitely want to take care of that. But beyond that, there's kind of table stakes now. So obvious, if I may say, they are expecting you to be clean, but really what they want is an experience. So your message should really go well beyond that. And think about what makes you different, what makes you special, what makes you a great place to go today. Is it that there are more outdoor experiences that feel COVID safe? Is it that are there any attractions near you that are open? So, what are the things that you are doing within your property that really set you apart? Because people are dying for new experience, and you gotta be there to tell them that compelling story. So, number three, one of the other key pieces of our researches tell us that frequent travelers are more likely to be traveling more and be more adventurous during COVID. So, an important thing is you know well your past guest. Reach out to them, and they are probably the most likely to come back to you, to your hotel, for two reasons. The first one is that you have sense of how much they travel and how frequently they travel. So the more frequently people have traveled in the past, the more likely they are going to be the first movers to travel again. The second thing is when you think about that predictability, people are more comfortable traveling to places they've been. So reach out to your past guest. The other thing is, and this is really tough one, nobody likes to hear that you really need to provide discounts, and everybody wants a discount. People really love discounts, and now they want them more than usual. But I think the key here is be creative about it. So, in certain situations, cash off offers or added value offers are going to be more difficult to provide. But um, if it's there is a core reason, people come to your hotel for, you can promote those primaries as value adds. Or also, if you try to think about what would be a discount if I actually increase maybe the overall money that I can generate from that user. So maybe a third night or a fourth night free could be an idea. So think about ways that you can offer a discount that not only provides value to the customer, but that also provides value to you. And then also thinking about kind of prepare and say, hey, book now and save versus at the gate, those type of offers and discount and going to have an added momentum where people really are going to be price conscious and concerned. And then number five is, I think this is critically important. This is really a tough thing too, especially for a lot of resort properties that aren't used to having a lot of flexible offer. But it is really important to emphasize flexibility right now. There is an uncertainty, and this is where you really have to have empathy for your customers. Yes, it's difficult to run your business when you don't know if people are going to show up or not, but it's equally difficult for a customer to book with confidence right now because you just don't know. The rules may change one day to the next, and you gotta offer that flexibility. And it doesn't need to be necessarily kind of last minute. If you typically have a 14-day cancellation, maybe 7 days is okay. Or if you typically gotten, some even have longer cancellation period. So it is about having flexibility around those cancellations and test it, test to see if for you will that credit, or if your customers strictly want to be able to just cancel on their behalf. We've seen our hotel customer taking creative approach to this, and it builds confidence in the customer that actually makes that booking happen. Okay, so there's a lot you've got to be worried around COVID, and researchers are telling you, look, you gotta be creative with your message, and you gotta offer deals and offer better information. Overall, then, how do you reach customers in today's age? And here is some important trends that are not literally COVID related. This is just where the world is going. And so one of the critical things is the world has moved into digital, and we all knew that. But what we're seeing is that there is an acceleration of digital engagement from customers. So what that means is a lot of offline traditional advertising, think of, magazines and etc., are even less powerful than they were prior to the pandemic because people are just engaging online all the time. So it's really important not only to be where customers are. So this means to be on traditional online advertising, when people are checking their favorite news site, but social. People are living their lives in Facebook and Instagram more and more even than before. And that's just a place you got to be. It also creates an exciting engagement place because you can interact as we were talking before around messaging. You can really get creative with your ads, and we will take a little bit more about that. It's also a trend, from a mobile booking standpoint that have been kind of moving up in that direction. And what we've seen is this is continuing. So in a pre-COVID era, you would be on 30 to 40, and now we are moving into 40 to 50% of consumers that are actually looking to book on mobile devices. So not only searching on mobile, but before they would search on a mobile and book on a desktop. But today they are both searching and booking mobile. So you gotta make um, your decision in that way. You gotta make sure that your advertising is mobile friendly and that you're advertising in all possible mobile channels and that your website is mobile friendly. So run that typical test. Hop on your phone and try to book a hotel room on your hotel web site. If it's a pain for you, it's not going to be a pain for the customers. They're just going to go away. So you really need to know this is a good, easy process to book, not only on desktop, but on mobile too. And then the other piece to this is digital co-op. So as we look at the recovery, um, as you're going to have limited budget, the best way to do it is to partner. So not only partner with your tourism board, your DMO, and to understand what's the marketing and promotion they are gonna be doing to drive demand to the destination. But the other creative thing uh, that we are seeing is hotels and attractions getting together to either promote packages or promote experiences to really demonstrate not only that you are open, but that there is really something fun to do. So this is an opportunity where through a digital co-op, which means that a destination may have money that it says we put 100 euros into a pot, and for every euro that you've spent, we'll put an euro in it. It literally magnifies the spend that you can do. And it's really a powerful tool. So it's something we are seeing as a trend that's happening. And on that, I definitely encourage you to jump on top of. Partner with local attractions to highlight reasons to visit. Number 8, and this is one of the things we've been talking a lot, getting people to drive demand direct to your website. That is a great thing and a great way to enhance the user experience. It's a great way to kind of build that loyalty and try to kind of prepare the customer before they get there. But the reality is that the OTAs are going to drive a lot of demand. They are out there with their marketing. They are potentially going to bring incremental customers. And right now, when business travelers are not going to come back for quite a long time, and groups are going to be more challenging for quite a long time, you need to manage everything on what I call a portfolio crash. So think about driving direct, think about driving third parties, and managing that effectively so that you're maximizing your overall bookings, also your revenue and customer experience. So make sure that you've got a competitive weights across all these other channels. Make sure that you are understanding the value of when and where they can provide that for you. And because I think it's important, and anybody that's telling you like, no, no, drive only direct, they are not in touch with reality. You gotta do both, and that's really, really an important thing to do. And then number nine is, connecting creatively, and this is kind of gets back to tell those message that matter. For example, if you got a great bar and you got a great mixologist, show images of her with a mask. It kind of tells that story of remember, we have great experiences, but remember, we are also super safe. And then make sure that you are using the latest in creative. So you can have your ad shown both effectively on desktop and mobile. So HTML5 is kind of the latest ways you'd like to make sure your creatives are running on. Make sure that whoever you are partnering with on your advertising is doing A/B testing to understand what's the most effective ads you can be using. Then also work with your partner to test the dynamic ads to really make that user experience more engaging, more enlightening, to show kind of what you have to bring them here. So it's not only important to have the right message, but to tell creatively in the right place. And then finally, I don't know how many of you have been hearing about the cookieless world, but to kind of put it simply, digital advertising is all about identifying, engaging, and marketing to travelers in a way that you can hit them with an ad, and then also see if they converted on a booking. The way you can track on those users anonymously through the path is using what we call cookies. So a cookie would be dropped when someone sees an ad. You can use that to identify when they come back to your website and book. And you can then say, yes, this booking was done by this campaign. Well, third-party cookies are going to eventually, probably in 2022, go away. So you need to find a new way to anonymously and safely, in a privacy-friendly way, attract and engage customers. So at Sojourn, what we are doing is we're building out an anonymized profile program and audiences using things like hashed emails. So these are anonymized emails. So we are working with most of our hotel partners and airlines and attractions to capture that hashed email data now. Build out that database so that as the ad market evolves, you can then still engage with those customers in an effective way. Not to only target them effectively, but to make sure that you are able to understand the performance of those ads. So this is something that it's coming down the pike, and It's more something that you need to understand. You know, how will I manage my first party data? And then how do I partner with my advertising partners to activate that data through things like hash email? Well, I really hope you enjoyed this presentation. It was really a pleasure for me. So, just before I wrap up, I'd like to thank you for your time, and please stay in touch. You have here my contact details, so you can reach me anytime to clarify anything. Thank you.